let me just quickly whiz you through the team sheets while we see them get set up on court. For the England mixed team, we have the captain, Fowler, number 9, Smith, number 48, Taylor, number 8, McCarthy, number 14, Allam, number 16, Borley, number 27, Major, number 35, Ovenden, number 36, Taylor, number 44, Sahin Altinoz, 51, Tapping, 52, and Koldrick, 81. And for the Italy mixed team, we have Baldini, number 6, Baleri, number 3, Brenzio, number 23, Carraro, number 19, Cao, 21, Cria, 9, Delicave, 7, Fumagalli, 17, Melandri, the vice-captain, number 33, Urdui, 4, Palladini, 16, Pignatiello, number 8, Pintus, 0, who is the captain, Rossi, 18, Sargov, number 71, and Sayers, number 55, as the England Lions line up to shake hands with their Italian counterparts here on court 1. Wow, what a fantastic day of dodgeball we're being treated to here, John.
Yeah, apologies for being late. Had to just deal with
I thought I covered you quite well, to be honest. You'd have got away with it.
No, it's fine. I'll admit when I'm late on that one. Just talking to some of the England women at the end there. Really, really excellent day. We're kind of now into our second half of dodgeball with our 5th game of the day. Mixed foam. England again. Gosh, getting bored of saying England. England versus Italy, head to head. I believe they haven't played yet.
I don't believe so. I think we're in for another interesting matchup here on court 1. But of course, we did see an England-Italy game earlier in the day. So we will wonder what the teams have learned from each other, because of course that was the women. No, it was not. It was the men's foam final where we saw that England victory. So the Italians motioning to get the rest of their players onto court. Always worth starting with 6 if you can. There we go. The 6th Italian player joins us.
The Italians going with a combined squad here, as Ovenden is hit out there on the rush as he doesn't manage to get the block across. However, we do have a completely individual squad here for England foam mix, as the countdown is coming. It's close. Fowler with a cross court at Pignatiello.
Really interesting to see that quick start, John. When we were here talking about the women's, we didn't see a single snap back, but we've already seen a very successful Italian start here. But a hit from number 9 Fowler onto number 8 is immediately repaid by the Italian number 33, which is the vice-captain, Luca Melandri.
Yeah, really long shot there. Fowler not managing to get out of the way. Borley takes the shot at his opposite number. But Fowler, first throw of the day, first dodge. Kind of could see those nerves coming through.
Yeah, big fakes, but then dodged by Borley. Catch made! Oh my gosh, he'll be a little disappointed in that hit on number 6 was fantastic, but the fantastic pickup catch, of course, by number 3, Baleri, means that is not an out for the Italian lady. McCarthy makes her way off the court.
Yeah, leaving Smith and Allam in on their own. We've seen the ladies here from the mixed team do some spectacular stuff with Tom Ovenden as the first catch in. So we'll see if they can capitalize on that.
Fantastic speed of release there once again, but blimey, dunk from number 6, he's 35, who is, I will find her later, but what an amazing catch from the Italian central player. I think it's 55, that's why I can't see her. Amanda Sayers, what an amazing play. Allam left in all by herself. What can she make of this opportunity?
Yeah, facing down 6 Italians, it's going to be a tough ask for her. As she's caught up court, she takes the trade, but once again, she's caught in that no man's land. I would have liked to have seen her play slightly more conservative. She doesn't have to rush so far up, because those Italians were so quick in the corners to manage to make that hit. It was such a high risk for her, but low risk for the Italians. First point for Italy in our finals in general, as they lost 12-0 in the men's.
Well, and also I think the first game we've seen where England not off to a definitive start. And Overton, again, is the victim of the Italian quick start. We're going to need to see England figure out how to counter this if we're going to get through these opening plays with 6 players on court, as Alam dodges well against the ball coming from number 8, Pignatiello.
Yeah, Overton's been stuck in a really tough position there. They don't quite have the pace from the women to be able to go for those 2 balls, so they're sending Overton, who is rapid, as number 8. Pignatiello is hit out again by Fowler on that cross court. But what they're doing there is they're taking Borley and Overton up. They're taking the 3 balls but offering no protection from behind. I'd like to see them just fling a ball back so that if the trade does come across, they can reply instantly, as opposed to what's happening is they're just losing their 1 player.
Yeah, 4 balls in Italian hands, and we're 5-on-5 in players. Good dodge by McCarthy sees England remain even as they gather the 3rd ball with Burden on their side. Press up, but good fake. McCarthy throws a swinger towards the left wing, but manfully dodged by the number 33 for Italy, Melandri.
Italy coming for lots of fakes here. As Carthy set herself for that catch, it's absolutely the one to go for. But she's kind of so sure-footed that she doesn't really flex into it as it comes off of her knees.
Yeah, excellent use of the pump fakes as we turn them here on the foam court. And again, as you say, McCarthy read it so well, but just maybe a little too much on it for her to hold on to that catch. So the Italians find themselves 1 player up with 2 balls. But a fantastic hit from the English captain, James Fowler, on number 55 for Italy. We'll see that player difference disappear. 4-on-4. Release is blocked by Fowler. Big fake, big jump by the Italian number 33.
Yeah, the Italian number 33, our vice captain, Melandri. I saw him just a couple of seconds ago, kind of nursing his arm. He's got a huge whipping throw here, whipping motion, which we don't see now. So let's hope that he can keep his arm fresh, because it looks like he's definitely got a dangerous hit on him.
Yeah, another really good dodging passage of play there. We remain even on players as Ryan Borley dodges once again. The ball pops off Baldini, but this time the Italians do not manage to make the family catch. So it is 1 player advantage for England. Ball is blocked away.
Yeah,
we're having a time.
Time's being paused there. So the difference there for me is just his hand position, and also a bit of the sound. That's the issue there.
Yeah, we can see that pop up of Baldini back on the replay. The referees will come in and make a decision. Oh, he's been sent. 2-player advantage for England now with Melandri, the captain, and the Italian number 55, Sayers, who we've seen so much of already in this final, left to make up that deficit. Good footwork from Fowler, seems him survive that attack on the left-hand wing. 3 balls in English hands. What can they make of this?
So there's that whipping throw we said previously from 33. Smith, our vice-captain on this court, beating the block as it goes low, as the 2 gentlemen from the 2 Englishmen come forward, with Alam joining as it goes high, and Borley bounces by her feet. Fowler not giving the number 55 there, Amanda Sayers, any chance of a catch.
Yep, Sayers throws high. Borley comes in, but 2 slight misses by the English men. See Sayers remain on court. Blocked by Fowler. Straight off the floor, straight into his face. Where he gives a wry smile to his teammates as they set again. I think
Borley comes forwards. She's dropped her ball. The communication's there. The one's gone high. I like that from Fowler. You can say they're definitely communicating as a wing pairing, showing the chemistry they have with each other.
Yeah, I think the communication from many of these foam sides in the finals here has been the making or breaking of them. But there we are. Borley finds the hit on Amanda Sayers, and we will go even Stevens on court 1. Oh gosh, we've got dancing in the commentary booth here, but we are enjoying this mixed final. Also, I think important to mention, of course, mixed is a younger format in foam than it is in cloth, and I think it's so great to see a brilliant game come out of the mixed foam format as England line up again. Can we see an English survival on this start?
So
we can. Oh.
So a false start has been called. False start has been called on the side as Borley thinks that they're accusing him of false starting. He says no, been flagged by the line ref on the far side. England have changed up their running lineup with Jen Allen and Ryan Borley as opposed to Tom Ovenden, who has not been able to survive longer than the rush in this game. One of the things that when coming into foam, especially with a lot of players transitioning on from cloth, the conversation is the rush is its own little bubble.
It's a mini game within the game.
Sometimes you do get hit out from the rush, like Ovenden has been, and it's all about can you stay in the game as Allen goes low, but they don't opt to throw there.
Yeah, I think she's done really well, and that change tactically from England has seen them enter this first passage of play after the rush, even on players as Fowler sends it over the Italian back line. Right, 4 balls in hand for the Italians. What are we going to see here? More faking. Oh, it's so effective. Ovenden, unfortunately, the victim once again of an early Italian attack. Number 8 for Italy with that really strong release. Alexander Pignatiello.
Yeah, Pignatiello and Ovenden both not managed to get into this game, but Pignatiello showing why he was targeted early by the English. As he's gone high there, McCarthy's tried to hit him on the knees, but he's leaped above that.
Yeah. 2 players up for the Italians, 3 balls in hand. Burden's on them, but Borley dodges the ball down the right-hand side of your screen from number 3, Valeri. Right, big fake from McCarthy, puts off that attack once again, so the Italians will come forward with Burden. You can hear the countdown from the referees, more faking. Lovely whip there from Pignatielli. Allen very close with a lovely dip throw there, but the duck from Pignatielli really effective there. Pignatiello, excuse me.
Thrown to McCarthy there. The bounce has been called, yeah, line refs. Everyone calling a bounce. But you can see the focus is on this number 8 here. He's a young player. With dodgeball being such a kind of mental confidence game, that's probably something England have been focusing on when doing their footage review.
Yes, indeed. Knowing your enemy is key here, especially if you plan to win a final. Both these teams, of course, going for the gold medal here at the first ever Foam European Championship. So it means an awful lot to both these teams to be the inaugural champions. Blocks from Borley, started up court. Smith was slightly short, an excellent opportunity on the number 33. So I think well done for the release, but it does give, oh no, she's done well. Possession also evens out on court 1. These pump fakes from the Italian, John, are being so effective. There we go, though. Borley has found his man.
Yeah, an excellent hit. I just wanted to say about that previous phase with Borley and Smith both going. They've timed it well. However, I think they've just rushed their shots, and we can just see what Borley can really do with that shot on Pignatiello there. It's an excellent shot. It's low. He's managed to beat the block. It just shows that when they take that extra step and slow it down just that split second to really put their arm through it, they can make some excellent hits.
Yeah, wonderful step by number 6. Baldini sees us survive. Another attempt from Borley. Can you believe we've already played nearly 10 minutes of this first half? Blimey, but there's plenty to see as we remain 1 player down to the English. Big block by the Italian captain there. Melandri sees them regain 3 balls, and the burden is with Italy.
Yeah, Smith, a great shot there. But Italy just showing they're super happy to play the man advantage, or the player advantage, sorry, with as he's just lined out at the back there. So that's changed the game entirely. We're now even on court, even on team distribution as well. So we'll see Borley across from the number 3, just saying as Allen's caught lacking as those fakes have come in.
Number 9, Clea, doing really well. The pump fakes from Italy are making all the difference here on the efficacy of their single ball releases, finding England time after time.
Yeah, Borley just waiting to see who's throwing that. He's puts himself behind McCarthy as Smith is caught by the number 55 on the side of Italy, Amanda Sayers.
She's had a huge impact in this game. Borley throws high, Sayers ducks. She knows to watch out for that cross court from Borley now. But 4 balls in Italian hands. They have 3 players up. Borley, I think, out for the finger block, unfortunately. Careful to avoid McCarthy so as not to provide any distraction, as the English number 14 finds herself with a lot of work to do here on court 1. What will she try? A lovely cross-court attempt on number 6. Gets her hands out of the way on the cross-court reply from the Italian number 3, which is, of course, Valeri. Blocked. Oh! Oh, caught it too early.
Thought she had it. She just fumbles it forwards, not managing to make that catch, with the second set going towards Italy. Timeout being called on the side of England after that set.
So I think we're probably going to try and get some camera angles for you. Oh no, we'll keep talking. Some replays here on the screen. Oh, wow. What do England need to do, John, to get back into this game?
I'd like to see their gents surviving on court slightly longer. The Italians are doing a really good job of surviving with ball in hand, these multiple ball attacks and single ball attacks on their blocking. In that situation, the Italians were only really out with a great shot from Borley onto Pagnatiello, but otherwise there was a line out and then Pagnatiello was caught back in. So it's just making those early hits, potentially going for an easier target, going for somebody that's maybe not as mobile. Pagnatiello has been targeted a lot, that number 8. Yes, he's running for those balls, but he's dynamic. He's sucking in a lot of possession with his blocking and his movement. Going for somebody else. Fowler's cross-courted a lot. I'd like to see him go down the channel slightly more. He's that one of those big arms, him and Borley operating on those wings. Go forwards, go for maybe one in ball. Get a hit, get the buffer, and start playing the possession game that will allow you later on to start taking those higher risk plays because you have the players at the back of court to be able to justify it.
Absolutely, John. We have, of course, all the stats still being brought to you on the little widget on the screen, and you can access the website for the full breakdown of the statistics. We have currently a 60.4 win rate predictor in favour of Italy. We are only 2-1. Don't think for a minute that me and John think this final is over. As Alan once again survives, I have to say that substitution in runners for England has been so effective in keeping them in the early stages of these sets after they did make that change.
So Fowler's gone for him again. It's a nimble shot. As head coach Woodall is telling them they need to carry on pumping because that's what the Italians are doing really well. But in that situation from the rush, I like previously Italy didn't have burden, but I think with their rush being so effective, they just need to go for it. Gone for him again, and he's just ducked low. I understand. I get why, but he's not winning in these sets single-handedly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ivan nearly had it. Ball comes off the ball retriever, so the Italians will have 3 balls in hand once again, but it will be English burden as we are even on players here. So where we see a lovely, a swing on the shot from Borley, the forward movement of number 3, Belleri, saving him there from the fantastic shot by Borley. 4 balls in Italian hands, straight down the middle. Ovenden survives. Good work.
Yeah, now they've got 4 balls, so hopefully they do something really impactful here. They just need to throw a single and get a hit out onto somebody. They've gone for Pagnatiello and they've replied. That's excellent stuff there. So yes, they've made the hit on Pagnatiello, which they've been going for a few phases. It had been creeping in and in and in. But Fowler, amazing heads-up play as Ovenden makes the shot. That's why he's so effective in this England mixed team. But Fowler popping the shot down the channel, showing this player opposite him that he does have an arm on him.
Fantastic honesty as well from Sophia Klee. It's such a small movement. I think a little tuck-in found her ankles from Tom Ovenden there. 4 balls in the hands of the 3 Italians, and we still have 6 English Lions on court. 3 balls to England, who will, of course, have burden. We have 6:15 left to play here on court 1. More pump fakes. And a catch from Ovenden.
Fowler being called back on, but there's a slight break in the psyche from Captain Fowler as he's so frustrated at giving away that catch. But Ovenden with the heroic catch in the middle as number 3 dips it into the floor in front of him, in front of Fowler.
You can see words between Smith and Fowler, co and vice and captain respectively, just making sure that, of course, Fowler takes a few breaths and gets back into this game. English look in control here as the Italians come forward with 4 balls. Wonderful duck by Borley. I have to say, the placement of the Italian balls is lovely, so he's doing well to get underneath them. So let's see if the Italians can pull out a turnaround here in the mixed final. Blocked. Clear blocks indicated by the referees.
Block call. I think Borley's been having a great game on that wing. He's taking in a lot of pressure. I think it's pretty obvious who's throwing here as Borley makes another block. And they cross court. The reply, He's just caught slightly higher up court than he probably should have been. In that position, I don't think you need to be as aggressive there with these trades. Yes, they have the player advantage, only down to 5, as that lovely 2-ball attack there comes in from Alan and McCarthy. Excellent timing and excellent accuracy. I'd just like to see him play his life slightly more into these dying stages of the sets.
I think, again, we talk about the mix, about what an excellent use of 2 women thrown together there to get the hits, but an amazing aerial dodge again from Belleri sees him survive once again with 4 balls as he stares at Fowler, who does not take the ball from the ball retriever, attempts to catch, but unlucky there. However, we still have 4 English Lions on the 1 Italian player. Burden is with England, cross court from Ovenden, nice dodge. We have 4:15 here on court 1.
It's really high. So he's let that ball roll across.
Yeah,
good play there, just to switch possession onto England's side. But he's head quite far up court there. As England have burned 2 balls to try and hit him out. Alan holds her ground there.
Yeah, we've seen how effective these Italian throws can be as it dips onto Alan's back. I think bounce, and then it finds the ankles of Ovenden, so he is safe. However, you get the feeling that England want to neutralise this threat and get these points on the board. Pump fakes, I think, maybe slipped out of the hands of Izzy Smith.
As the Italians call a timeout with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left on this set.
We can, of course, call a timeout.
Just taking a look at the stats at the top of your screen. The impact rating of these players, no surprise there that the number 33, Luca, on that wing is leading with a 41.8% impact rating with 2 hits and 2 lives. But then beneath him, James Fowler and Ryan Borley, both having excellent games on the wings when they're keeping on court, when they're staying in it. Really need to see England just survive for slightly longer. I'd like to say take slightly smarter decisions on court. Play their lives that slight bit more. Fowler doesn't really need to go for the catch there. There's 1 player left. You just hit the player out. Borley there is taking those few steps aggressively when maybe he didn't need to. As opposed to the Italian players, I do think this number 3 is creeping really far up court. But at the end of the day, they've played some smart dodgeball to keep themselves in these sets and also to win these sets.
Yep, great dunk by Ovenden. It's a real catch-22 for England. They want this hit on the Italian number 3, but of course every time you give him possession, he has shown he is well capable of delivering massive throws that are a threat to these English players. England choosing once again to throw a single ball, giving the Italian 4 balls, and Burden fakes, big dodge by McCarthy. Single, double release by England, and Izzy Smith gets the hit. The English vice-captain taking them even with 2 points apiece and 3 minutes to go on court 1.
So that's what we mean there. He's creeping too far up court. I don't know how good his post-throw game is, but I'd like to see him just camp at the corner there. Based on the kind of player composition opposite him, you've got, it was McCarthy and Smith in front of him and Tom Ovenden off to one side. By coming too far up, you can see Ovenden and Smith were instantly in his zone, instantly in his face. He dodges the one from Ovenden, but Smith perfectly times it to make that hit.
It really has disrupted the Italian quick start. For me, I'd put that back in for them. An attempt on Alan, but she's done fantastic work there to survive as tapping throws over the top of number 16. So we have 4 balls in Italian hands.
So a host of substitutions across the court, with number 52, Simon Tapping, joining us on court for James Fowler, who's taking a brief interval. On the far side, a rotation across court as Pignatiello's actually gone further over to that wing onto Borley, probably quite scared of the left arm of Simon Tapping, who's been brought on. But number 16 across from court, Samuel Palladini, and I believe the number 6 has joined us, Baldini.
Really good ducking on the right wing there as Borley once again moves cross court. You can see Tapping and Ovenden taking a really aggressive position, but they will reset with 3 as they have Burden on the English Lions. Oh my gosh, there we Oh, to be
No
fair.
catch, because whilst the ball may still be live, Bawley's shot was low and it deaded almost instantaneously. All of the refs are saying no hit. That's a great cross court. I might not be a tactical genius, but I called it.
You did call it, and to be fair, I was going to be wrong, so thank you for saving me from myself there, John. Right, what an amazing follow-up there from England to cover off that catch. That's been huge in this first half here on court 1. 4 balls in Italian hands. 1 ball goes over Bawley. He's doing so well with that work towards the floor to dodge underneath. A lot of fire for the Italians that Bawley is drawing on that right wing.
Pignatiello there as he's come across court. Tapping still managed to find him with that left hand. And then the cover shots have come through from all of the English players as Tapping takes the backtrack. He's on the floor faking. He's done a great job there while Smith has aggressively come forward to protect the left winger on the side of England.
Yeah, it's Simon Tapping's foam debut at this tournament, but based just purely on this set, he's having a fantastic impact on this English mixed team. 3 Italians, 4 balls blocked by Tapping. The English will now have burden once again. 37 seconds, 35 left till no block. Can the English Lions produce a result here and get themselves 1 set ahead for the first time on court 1?
Yeah, 6 players on the side of England now against 3 Italians. They throw one down. Good shot there. Similar to what we saw Gedling do earlier, where you've gone for the inside player, not going for the player that's just released, but going for the player that is closer.
Oh my gosh, I thought he got Ovenden there, but Ovenden hops over it. Another massive release from the Italian number 16, Samuel Palladini. And we go to no block.
Yeah, Tapping with a little hand up there, but it doesn't really matter because as long as that ball has been released before the whistle, it's still a live ball. So whilst a good part of sportsmanship from Simon Tapping, it is part of the game, or at least the foam game, as we head into this first no block. A deep shot from Ovenden, not managing to see its target.
Lovely height, but slightly too wide to find the ankles of the Spanish left wing. 4 balls in the hands, 3 balls now. Back to the English. However, a trade means that there are now only 2 Italians left to face the English Lions, and I spoke too soon as Baldini, who to be fair has been really playing well in this half, gets found there, and another hit by Bawley sees the English take the lead at half. I don't know about you, John. I was expecting quite a lot of no block, and we've seen that out in something like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I think, which I'm happy to see, teams are happy with being aggressive in no block, especially in the English domestic leagues, the ones that we play in. Teams play no block in this really scared and nervous way when you just throw the ball and make the hits. In that situation, though, the Italians have gone for a couple of catches, but we've seen at the beginning of that no block set, we saw Tom Ovenden throw that ball. It didn't really go towards anyone, but we can see that actually has a curve out. It curves, it's a right-handed player and it curves out to that right. He's then thrown a very similar shot there at the Italian player. She's dropped her ball, gone for the catch, and not realised as it's just curved into the side of her.
Yeah, and we can see some fantastic replays on screen for you now. There really have been some standout moments here during the mixed foam final. I think, if I were Italy, I'd be going back to that quick start, I think, John. I think Alam's done fantastic work surviving, but can we see them add another turn of the screw? Because that 1-player advantage, just a set of tone, I think, for the Italians in those first few sets really helped. You look like you disagree with me.
No, my face is of frustration because I completely agree with you. We do have burden at the beginning of these sets, but the Italians are using it. I don't know why. Going from a kind of personal perspective, when Leamington Spartans play sometimes, we had a guy called Austin Woods, who used to play in Canada, represented the England team at Worlds, and he was just like, yeah, we might as well just hit the player out at the beginning of the set. If we can make that hit, if our quick start is so effective that we just go for it, why wouldn't you? Because it hits that player out from the beginning. In this situation, they hit out Jen Allen, who's now running for those balls. It gives you that buffer. Originally, it was Tom Ovenden, but then one unlucky catch, and Ovenden's back in. Now you've got Jen Allen, who probably isn't as effective on court as Ovenden in this mixed game. And you just go, okay, well, who cares who's starting here? We'll just throw it because they are rapid. We'll see it much better from this perspective. but the Italians are really quick to get that ball back. Looking at kind of how the lineup's changed, just looking down at us, I think we do have Pagnatiello subbing out, so they might not have that rapid nature. But if they can win that early set, the early parts of the sets, get the early hit out, and then once they have the player advantage, they can play looser. If you've never met Ryan Bawley and James Fowler, they're big guys, and whilst they're moving well, that's always when they've got a ball in hand. If you can bait them out to lose that ball and then make the hit, the Italians will have a much bigger, as we just see a replay there of James Fowler being hit out through the block and some theatrics afterwards. But they'll be in a much better position going later on into these sets, especially when they're just facing onslaught after onslaught of throws from the England wingers.
Yeah, and I think, of course, every player here, as always in dodgeball, there is no perfect dodgeballer. Everyone brings their own style and substance to the court, and it's never more evident than in this mixed format where we have the men's and women's players joining us on court. We do have substitutions for England and Italy, as we're just double sure. Right, let's see who we've got lining up. On the English side, we are joined by Coldrick, who is number 81, who has replaced McCarthy, number 14. McCarthy, of course, I think did really well with survivability, left him by herself at one point, and unfortunately not able to turn. I think it was a 5-on-1, which is indeed a tall order. And as you were saying, a number of substitutions on the Italian side, as John was explaining, that we think is going to be quite impactful on the style, do you think, or maybe just the pace of this Italian game?
Well, I'm not sure, because looking down, I think we have 4 substitutions on the side of Italy. Coming across, number 0, Pintus, our number 18, Deborah Rossi.
17 as well, Fumagelli, and also number 71, Sargov, all join us. So you're right, 4 substitutions.
So that's a big switch in the team, as opposed to just Kaya Coldrick coming on the side of England. So it certainly will change this game. Whether or not it's to do with resting players or something, they're only a point down, even though they probably feel like they're slightly more points down, based on how the games have been how the sets have been going. Yeah, we'll see how this portrays. It's an interesting decision.
Yeah, 10 seconds until we get back underway. Or not. The refs are keen to go. Let's see what the second half brings us in another incredibly close final here in Limerick at the European Championships 2025. There we go. I think, what have we got? We've got all sorts of things that have happened.
So, yeah, they've gone for it, which is excellent. Look how the play has opened up there. They've hit Alam out on the start. She says it's kind of blocked into or it bounced, but then Bawley's rushed forward to cover because he's seen that there's an open player on the far side, but they've got the far ball to cover that. So by being the aggressor, they've made the initial hit. Bawley's overextended and opened himself up. He's released, and we know effectively if his Bawley is behind the ball, and Palladini has just managed to hit him out. So we're 12 seconds into this game, and they've got a 2-player advantage.
Yeah, no, we were talking about it at halftime, and we have seen that Italian quick start in devastating effectiveness. Here, the English ball retrievers look on as we look to see, with 4 balls in hand, what the English Lions are going to make of this next passage of play. Ovenden and Tapping taking the wings there, with Coldrick and Smith in the middle. Will we see more pump fakes? Sorry, John.
No worries. I was going to say, we've not really seen this England side, at least the substitutions now made with Tapping on that wing and Ovenden moving out onto this wing. We've not seen what they've had to do on defence or when they're down in players. They've always been in control. So now that they're down those 2 players and they have to play with that slightly higher pressure, be interesting to see how it works out. As that ball comes up, I think that's 2 hits.
It is Sargov, a little cheeky shot from Ovenden. I think just found literally the back of Sargov's hand as he made a huge lateral movement. But we're all square once again on court 1 as Simon Tapping jumps to our right on the screen to avoid a sort of, it wasn't even a pre-throw, was it? It's a simultaneous throw from Palladini.
Yeah, Palladini's done a really good job to get out the way of the post throw from the response. As Coldrick hasn't managed to hit Fumagalli. However, we had Ovenden here on the back there. He's gone low but left his back exposed. Potentially could have jumped off court to make that as Tapping gets the effective block. Bit of pressure there from the ball retrievers.
We're on a much bigger court today. It does make such a huge difference if you have ball retrievers are all on it. And Natalie Taylor there for England competing with the Italian ball retriever to make sure that England stay in possession of 4 balls to start with burden in this next passage of play.
Yeah, England using their ball retrievers as a way to warm up their players. All 3 of these, we've got Alfie Major, John Taylor and Natalie Taylor, are all substitutes for this mixed team, as Izzy Smith sends a thundering shot across a Palladini. Really good use of sightlines there.
Yeah, no, a really excellent attempt from Smith, but Palladini was equal to it. Another cross court. We've seen so many in this tournament, but 2 balls are released by the English, giving the Italians 4 for the 4 players still left on court.
Yeah, a bit loose with possession there to give away 4. They've thrown 2 at Tapping, who's then responded at Fumigelli and managed to make that hit. Great job by him. I'd like to have seen a bit of a delay there on that 2-ball attack from Italy. Tapping's made 1 dodge sideways. You could have seen Kriya go early to force the dodge and then Palladini follow up with the hit, but that's not managed to come across as Palladini jumps high and blocks down.
Yeah, no, good movement there from Palladini. 4 balls back in Italian hands. Yes, as Palladini's got 2, as Tapping is...
blocks 1 and the second bounces.
Blimey, there's a huge movement. And he's done well there to avoid the Italian response. 3 balls, Smith down the left-hand side is unsuccessful as Rossi comes forward. Huge dodge by Coldrick, really getting close to the floor there and moving sideways. Sees the 3 English Lions surviving once again.
Tapping sends one at Palladini, who's been doing an excellent job of surviving against his opposite number, whilst Rossi, Kriya, it's the commentator's curse as Tapping throws a standing countering, hitting out Palladini low.
Yeah, we have 4 balls in Italian hands as the 2 Italian women come forward. Excellent release, but equally excellent block from Rossi. Sees us remain 2 on 3 with a lot of pressure from Coldrick. This is very aggressive from the English substitution, but 2 dodges from England make that all look like part of the plan.
Yeah, they've gone for 2 different targets there. Not sure about that. I would have just gone to try and hit Coldrick out through the block. She's put herself in the middle, which a lot of cloth players always find a tough situation to be in because of the 2 different sight lines. But they've gone for tapping at the back of court as well, as they have hit out Coldrick, but Smith with the post throw hitting out De Rossi.
And of course now we've been talking about trades ad infinitum during this tournament, but when you are up and you see that player open up, you must take the opportunity to get the revenge hit, as Smith does brilliantly here on court 1.
Kriya operating very smartly here. You can see she doesn't even get to that ball activation line or ball return line, as a clean block onto Tapping. She throws there at that ball return line back. Ball retriever feeds it in as she manages to get safe to the back of court with 3 balls.
Yeah, the English come up with 3 balls, 2 in the hands of Izzy Smith, who throws slightly short and is immediately under fire, but a great low dodge response from Simon Tapping. Will we go again? Izzy Smith clips Kriya on the hair. Fantastic honesty from the Italian number 9. But we go 2 points ahead for the English in a game where, not to take anything away from the English performance, it feels so close, Sean.
Yeah, live by the buns, die by the buns. Kriya has her hair up in these space buns, I think they're called.
Yep, Princess Leia space buns.
It's just clipped one of them. That's so unfortunate, as she calls herself out for it. Well, that's a quote for the ages on that one. But an excellent game we've got for you so far. Similar to that women's Austria game in the foam women's, where every set seems to be coming down to the last 2 or 3 players on court. I think if Italy can just survive slightly longer into that 1 minute 30, you say if this was a cloth game, that halfway mark, you want to see them survive longer so that they can do more, make more hits, make more trades, get into an advantageous position. We'll see what they can do on the rush here. We do have a substitution on the side of England, as Sahin Altinoz has come on for Izzy Smith.
And lots more movement from Altinoz, but unfortunately she is the victim of that attack.
And James Fowler rejoining us for Ryan Borley.
2 balls for a hit on Sargov. A good English response there. Balls indicating us being sent to the wings, as England will come forward once again with 4 balls.
And they've managed to get 2 balls back from there, so a 4-ball attack on the side of England, which is really fortuitous. as Italy have to come forwards now with 3. Searching ball to get the... Oh, and a thunderous shot comes through from Ovenden. Tapping takes the shot of Palladini. Caldrick grabs that ball back from the ball retriever and provides the cover to make sure Simon Tapping gets safe passage to his back line.
Lots of movement on the back line, which is what we love to see when you're preparing. I think the best antidote to that amazingly effective pump faking we've been seeing from the Italians. 3 balls in English hands. Oh, John thinks he's made a meme. He's very proud of himself.
No, I do not. I just didn't think it would come out in that way.
Yeah. Well, no, we have 4 balls. Big dodge from Allen. Cross court from Fowler, but immediate response. It is all about being completely in this game every second. And I'm terribly sorry, the Italian number 17, Fumagalli, with a fantastic hit on James Fowler.
Yeah, I think a bit of an unforced error there as Fumagalli blocks it down, doesn't manage to hit on the foot there. Slightly unforced there by Fowler because he's gone for that cross court, Palladini, but just left himself completely open to the shot opposite him. I just think that's what I mean for this Italian men in terms of just not making those high-risk plays. I don't think Fowler needed to do that. It wasn't like the rush was going across as the 2 gentlemen play opposite as they send through towards Palladini. He's hit out there. That's a really smart play by Simon Tapping. As you can see, he's pulled Tom Ovenden over onto that wing so they can take the 2-ball attack with their 2 male throwers.
And as you can see, success in the mix is all about understanding the relative strength of your players. We have seen fantastic plays from players of all gender here on court, but using the throw timing synchronicity of the 2 men paid off for the English. But just to prove me wrong, Ovenden and oh my God, Caldrick with a fantastic throw.
We're just laughing slightly because we have a pair of couples on court for you today. Simon Tapping and Jen Allen, and Tom Ovenden and Kaya Caldrick, both
respectively
respective
partnered up.
couples, as Allen is hit out there by Korea.
Yeah, we talked about synchronicity and we've got a lot on court for the England team as Tom Ovenden continues to make a huge impact in this foam mixed final with a fantastic hit on Rossi.
Yeah, he's had a really slow start being hit out first on the rush, but since they've allowed him to survive at the back of court by taking the early rush hit from somebody else, he's now being able to get into this game and warm into it, showing his absolutely massive arm coming through.
We've seen Kria make some really impactful plays. She is back once again as the last Italian player. Will it all end differently this time on court 1? Really good throws, great positioning, but there's a big dodges coming out of these English Lions at the moment to make sure they're staying with that 2-player advantage. 11:30 on the clock. What we're going to see next, John?
Yeah, cross court in from Ovenden to utilise those sight lines. It means that when Korea's moving up court, she's facing down Caldrick and Tapping, as opposed to having a potentially much easier free shot. And if she does want to go for that cross court at Ovenden, who's just released, there are 2 people there to reply.
Yeah, 4 balls again in English hands. I feel like I've been saying that a lot in this half, but a wonderful dodge from Korea. Dodges all of them. But again, fantastic honesty from the Italian number 9. Ovenden broke her block, and we see the English with a 3-point lead.
I'm really liking how the English players are so comfortable with ending these sets. In other games we've seen today, teams are actually quite scared to win sets on their own terms. More in the cloth game, I think, where teams are really happy with timing them out. I absolutely love the fact that they're biting in on plays like that. Ovenden is so confident with his arm as he's just been subbed off. I don't know if you can see, you can't see that on stream, but
Natalie Taylor ready just
from
in
the
time.
crowd. But it means that there's confidence. Melandri coming back on, but they're happy to take those shots. They're happy to end those sets, which is exactly what you need. It builds momentum. The simple stage is, I said it yesterday in one of the games I was spectating, as long as that number keeps ticking up on the scoreboard, you're probably going to win. The higher the number, the bigger the chance, right? So carry on increasing the number.
Yeah, we've had substitutions for England. We are joined by Nat Taylor, who unfortunately Kaya Caldrick is the victim of a block from her own teammate James Fowler. We're also joined by Taylor as well. So hang on, we've got the 2 Taylors subbed on. Let's get this straight. So Natalie Taylor, number 44, and Jordan Taylor, number 8, have joined us and replaced Jen Allen and Tom Ovenden.
Yeah, no relation between the 2. Just to clarify, lovely shot there by the Italians, putting it on the inside of Fowler's body. close enough that he feels the need to block it and not dodge out the way, but he's put it straight into Coldrick. So a really, really intelligent shot placement by the Italians.
I do think, I'm not for a moment saying I think the English accuracy has been poor. I think the quality of play here on court has been fantastic. But some of the shots the Italians are pulling out in terms of placement on the body, I think maybe slightly more success in it, anticipating English movement, would you say?
I absolutely agree. We've seen, as Fowler was also called out on that play, as tapping is hit out there, as he's not managed with Brencio, number 23, a new addition to this game, hitting him through the block. But maybe, well, the weakness of a lot of these English foam sides, especially on the male side of things that I'm more clued in about, is just their movement, as Jordan Taylor makes an epic jump over there. But they're big players, they're a lot bigger guys. If you look at, say, the USA men's foam team, talking to Nick Danchenko about it, who's our line ref in the back right corner there, they're all like 5 foot something. Whilst we have a few 6 foot plus players, as Jordan Taylor's hit out there by a lovely shot by Melandri, tracks him across. So where we do have these bigger arms, we also have these bigger players who are easier to hit.
Yeah, well, we have 2 of our English women remaining on court 1 with 6 Italian Blues to face off against them. 4 balls in English hands. I told you I say it a lot, but that's because it's true. We have 8:50 remaining of the half, but of course, with this being foam, we can have as many sets as we can possibly squeeze into that game. So a 3-point deficit is nothing if you can win a couple of sets in under 2 minutes. Will we see a Italian resurgence here on court 1?
I was going to say they're probably going to play this quite aggressive, but that's slightly too aggressive. The shot comes through from Selvi Sahin Altanos, and it hits our number 23, Valerio Massimo Brencio, as he jumps high. They will have to go, as Pintus blocks it into Rossi, the shot comes across. Sometimes when you do play this fast-paced, aggressive game, the mistakes come in, and we've just seen 2 there, leading to 2 outs.
You get the impression Sahin Altanos having an amazing time here in the final, but she throws through. But we have a hit on Natalie Taylor, so we will end that set there. 5-3 on court 1 with 7:50 remaining.
Yeah. Not quite a difference between the set timers. Head coach Aidan Whittle asking to call a timeout, just to temper that Italian momentum after a really good set by the Italians. Basically doing exactly what we really needed them to do. They're hitting out those big players. They're going for the big targets. They're breaking blocks. They're using their tracking in an excellent way. They're formulating a really, really well-constructed attack with their skills, especially with that early aggression.
They're going to take some risks, yeah, so expect it. How do we deal with that and play our run the game? So run the game's actually, it's about taking the ball and winning it.
Abbiamo tutto su di noi, 1, 2, 3, Italia!
Of the faces of these players as the England Lions also get ready to line up. Sayers joins us back, but that's the only substitution. We had Baldini join us the set before, and then looking across court, there are no changes. One change as Sahin Altanos is substituted for our co-captain, Izzy Smith, the birthday girl.
The birthday girl, happy birthday to Izzy Smith. Not only an England Lion, but also our EDF media coordinator. So much of the effort that you see in terms of the graphics and the camera work and all of that are part of her, what she presides over as an EDF volunteer. So we're very grateful to Izzy. We have found a pen in the commentary booth because, John, we've been so caught up in this game. I've been reminded at some point we're going to talk about MVPs.
Yes, that's a really good conversation to have. From the side of Italy, I think, well, looking over at the stats, our number 33, Melandri, is our highest valued impact player with a 33.5%. Obviously, meaning that late on to the sets, he has been playing the best, not playing the best, but making the most impactful plays. From the far side of court, I think Fowler has had a good game. I think Tom Ovenden has had an amazing game. Ryan Borley. But I'm going to say, slight bias, I want to put my suggestion for Tom Ovenden. I think he's been excellent. Whilst he didn't get a lot in that first game, in those first few sets, as soon as he's gotten on court and been able to get into the game, he's been showing his quality.
Yeah, I think certainly triumphing in the face of adversity, having been targeted relentlessly on those Italian quick starts. And then, of course, to bring our focus to the women, I think Sayers for the Italians. We said her name a lot in that first half, and she looks like she's rejoining us on court for the final 7 minutes 30. But also, we have had some excellent plays from the Italian number 6, Baldini, and also...
I was going to suggest Sophia Correa, who...
Oh, no, that is very true.
As we've said, blast in multiple times, done an excellent job at surviving and dodging. So there's just a conversation going on at the moment between the coach, captains, just to see what's going on with the refs and the head refs. Look at confusion on the face of James Fowler. And some gesticulation. Unsure of what's going on here.
The referee is holding some cards, which does not necessarily bode well. However, I think if we carry on the MVP situation conversation here, James, I think it's very difficult to not call out the impact that Izzy Smith has had on this game for the English Lions.
She is the highest rated.
Okay, so let's assume the second question. What does your partner mean?
Tapping having an excellent game. I think he's been really impactful since coming on for James Fowler.
Yeah, we have Marcus, our tournament coordinator here. Must be clarifying whatever is going on. While we have no idea what's going on court, we're going to bring you some of the fantastic plays we've already seen during this European final. We hope you're enjoying the footage that's being collected here for you in Limerick. We've seen some amazing footwork. We've seen some amazing aerial dodges. And as you can see, the work getting to the ground, but also, as I think has been the story of this tournament, the court awareness of players for the follow-up hits has been absolutely key in creating results here in either the foam or the cloth format. Okay, so we have a disciplinary issue on court, which the refs are just trying to resolve. I think potentially the less said about that, the better. We'll see what the resolution is here. But as I was saying, John, we're just having a look at some of the footage back on the stream. Some, just fantastic footwork all over court. As you can see, the players trying to keep warm while we get this issue resolved. Yeah,
they're just having a discussion just about player conduct on court and potentially unsportsmanlike behaviour. We don't have a blue card system in the foam game, so it would be automatically upgraded to a yellow card depending on the severity. So they're just clarifying this question as the refs have come in. There is a card being kind of flashed around and held, and we'll see moving forwards as we have our MVP poll put in, or our fan MVP poll put into the chat. At the end of this game, there will be discussion from an expert panel on who deserves the overall MVP. I believe, I'm not sure for the mixed games if we're doing one of each gender.
Excellent question, John.
I assume yes.
I assume yes. We
but
normally
I'm sure
do.
we can find out later on.
Yeah, we will of course have another game. Of course, the cloth mixed final still to come here on court 1, and then we will proceed to the closing ceremony here in Limerick. We had to extend our thanks to the Irish Dodgeball Association for hosting us for what has been a fantastic tournament, where, of course, we're really excited to bring you the playback review stats, which we have, of course, been using in our reporting here. I have to say, we've got a 97% win for England predicted on screen currently. I think that's maybe a little too certain.
Yeah, I'm sure we can take a look at how the percentages are done. I assume I'll just, whilst Kath fills the time, I'll have a conversation with our analysts.
Yeah, I'm going to let John, who is statistically minded in his work life, have a look at that. And of course, we're a young and growing sport, so the calculation of statistics is very different. We're basically still learning how best to rank players, what to rate about how they play. But I think the outcome of that long-winded discussion there on court 1 is that James Fowler has been given a yellow card and will be in the sin bin for, I believe, at least 5 minutes as we get away on court 1. Early hit on Jordan Taylor. You wonder whether we're already at 1-player advantage. Can this be the door that the Italians have been knocking on all match in order to get back into this game? As Natalie Taylor finds herself caught on the fingers. Really good shot from Melandri, number 33, who's now playing from the middle.
So we do have an update on that percentage as Brincio leaps over the shot of Ovenden. It bounces off a ball retriever and goes back over. But that win percentage uses a huge data set of games from the Australian Dodgeball Leagues, and the inputs as the shot towards Melandri and the inputs from this game are cross-referenced through some algorithms to games that are played in those games to then give you that percentage.
Wow, so we'll have to see whether although it has jumped, I think, in the impact of that yellow card, has dropped the English win percentage to 67.8. But we will see how we get on court 1. There is still much to be said in this mixed final. Another huge jump from Brincio on the right wing. Fans in full voice all across the sports hall here.
As Ovenden's hit on the back, as he leaves his back exposed. Brincio hits through the block.
Yep, 4 balls in the hands of the English women's players as Coldrick and Smith press up court. Smart there from the English women, only releasing 1 ball to keep 3 in hand, as Italy have burden. Blocked by Izzy Smith, and that ball will go straight back to the Italians, which I think she will be happy with there. Means the English ladies can stay at the back of court and look for an opportunity. But, well, it was Brincio again, was it not? Breaks the block of the English vice-captain, and we see Coldrick, last player in for the Lions, and a huge movement from Coldrick, number 81. But what a take!
Catch by Pintus! What a catch by Pintus! He grips the shot over, managing to get his hands around that shot from Coldrick. An insane piece of play as all of the momentum is towards Italy. They are 1 point down with 5 minutes left in this gold medal match.
It's 5:08 exactly as we look to restart on court 1. If the English can keep this for a win or a draw in the 5 minutes and no block, they will have a gold medal around their neck by the end of the day. But the Italians, as John said, completely resurgent in this second half. Oh my gosh, the tension is killing me. 3 balls in Italian hands. They come forward with Burden. Massive release, but Ovenden is equal to it. Huge step and dodge from the English player there, John.
Yeah, the Italians are now at 62% to win this game. The crowd has come alive. There are 340 of you at home watching. This, do not leave. Do not go and put the kettle on. Stay in front of your TV. This is going to be an absolute nail biter.
Yep, we have 4 balls back in English hands once again. Honestly, the movement of Brincio on this right wing is unbelievable. 3 balls with the Italians, and then as they come forward, looking for a shot, but they find Coldrick. Immediate response from Smith is blocked by Pintus. 2 players down on the English side. Massive movement from Taylor, Jordan Taylor. finds them with 4 balls to England. Taylor choosing to take 2 up court, which we would assume. Oh my
Pintus
gosh!
with another grab at the back of court.
Oh, we have a lovely release from Melandri, but Natalie Taylor just blocks that ball away. 4 balls once again in the hands of the 3 English players. 3 players down. Tom Ovenden looks for Frenchio. Oh my gosh, 2 almost identical dodges there. High with getting their knees out of the way, but the English players have 3 minutes and 20 seconds until no block, with only a 1-set advantage. So it really is all to play for here on court 1. 3 balls and the burden will be with the Italians. 3 minutes and 8 on the clock. We've seen those pump fakes, I think, from the Italians disappear, John. I mean, they're having a lot of joy without them, but you wonder whether the fatigue is starting to show here on court 1.
I think we're seeing it from both sides of court. The fatigue in terms of the throwing power, as Izzy Smith takes a great hit. Nat Taylor comes through with the reply onto Pintus, but is blocked cleanly. That's a great hit by Smith, who is on our MVP poll, as there is time paused. What we're seeing, as you've said, late into the game, late into these tournaments, potentially the throwing accuracy and the endurance of these English players is just dropping slightly. For example, Pintus managing that grab as Taylor tracks him, but it's really central. Late into these games, you need to stay and keep as accurate as possible.
So I believe, was that an Italian timeout that we're experiencing right now?
Potentially.
Yeah, anywho, we have 4 balls on the English side. Once again, banned. That really good play there from Izzy. And I have to say, Izzy Smith, and I have to say the cover from Natalie Taylor was totally key there in protecting the lioness as she ran backwards. But the Italians have effectively broken that little run of form, or have they, for England as we restart once again on court 1.
Yeah, some early dominance in this game for England, but Italy have managed to rein it back in late. So James Fowler is now back into the out box,
having served his yellow card.
Having served his yellow card.
If we do see another set here, that return of Fowler will be huge for England. 4 balls once again with the English. They will have to come up court. What do the Italians have to say to that? Good use of the neutral zone, staying, well, no, not even. They come close to the midline, but not all the way, as the Italians reply immediately.
Cold and calculating as the block comes across. Melandri sends the cross court over to Ovenden, who's got 2 balls.
Yeah, you see a lot of these phone players when they run back was getting really low, and also was ending on their bums in the middle of court. But partly because that's such a strong catching position in this format, as we clip Rossi. So we are only 1 player down for the English players with 1:40 left to go.
Big movement from Ovenden at the back of court. He's got his fingers pinched behind that ball, ready for the block, but he just definitely dodges out the way as he calls. Pintus with an aggression up court, but he throws down his channel, and that side swing as it comes through. It's just the way it's released from his hand. It doesn't have a huge amount of power on it, but it does have that curve.
Yeah, Ovenden, I think, has learned a lot from seeing this play, but Sayers made the catch, and then a block and out. So I think that's about right on the side. So we have Sayers with a hugely impactful catch there.
And the free throw comes in. Frenchio manages the block. Izzy Smith gets the post throw onto Baldini as she's left in on her own. Frenchio is called out on the free throw.
Izzy Smith is in a 2-on-1. Lovely movement from the English Lion. What can she do here? Lovely jump from Melandrini. 38 seconds to go until no block. What do you even want here, John?
I think you take it to no block. I think if you're Izzy Smith, you take the 30 seconds, you reset, and you just go into the last set. You go into the overtime. You potentially lose the no block set, but that draws the game, and then you go into overtime. But at least you'll be on court with 6 players.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. It looks to be how Izzy Smith would like to see out this game. With 7 seconds, you get the impression it suits the Italians just fine. 3, 2, 1, as Izzy Smith steps. We will go into no block.
A hit has been called. We will go down, to a final 5-minute no block set to decide this match.
Okay, everyone, take a few deep breaths at home. It's too close to call here. The win predictor is still slightly in England's favour, but only just here on court 1. Right.
So the refs have come in for a discussion about what happens next. So a set needs to be added to Italy. It is 5-all in this match.
Yeah, some more discussions among the referees. England deciding on their lineup for this final passage of play here on court 1. I thought I had stressful games yesterday, John. It's got nothing on this mixed final.
Yeah, this is an absolute nail-biter. Now, it's interesting that England have decided to sub back on Ryan Borley after a 15-minute break from this game.
I feel like this is potentially the slightly more aggressive England lineup. They're going to go out there and just try and get the hits. I think so 5 minutes means that we can end this with players on court. However, I think we're just having the clarifications between the refs and the coaches to make sure everyone knows exactly what's going on here on court 1. How are we looking in the poll, John, for MVP?
I have no idea because I don't have it up in front of me. So we will check on the poll in a bit. I cannot find it. No blocking. Yeah, Pete Decker from Canada. There, Pistol Pete, I believe. Yeah, it is stressful. So, no blocking. The ball is an extension of yourself. If it hits you, that is an out. However, the ball is still live. So if you block and catch the ball, you're fine. You can dead block. You can drop the ball. I'm unsure. Yeah, so this is a no block set, I believe.
Big movement from Borley and Alamos is successful once again and against that Italian quick start. Sorry, you can see the tail of the tension is getting to us in the commentary box.
Oh. Okay, we are not playing no block. We are not playing no block. This is a normal set. This is a normal set of dodgeball. The player there has blocked, and no one's called him out. However, the question is, he may have blocked it into himself.
Right.
So we are not playing no block here.
Block called. Even Stevens on court 1 once again. Can any of our blood pressure take it? Who will take the gold medal here in the mixed foam format of the European Championships 2025? It will not be won potentially with Simon Tappy on the court as he exits. 4 balls in the hands of the English once again. Big fakes by Borley. Again, this battle we saw on the left-hand side reasserting itself with Melandri. 3 balls for the Italians who have burden and 1 player in hand. The pump fakes are back. Big release, but blocked by Borley.
Yeah, clean block as he comes forward. And he's caught by Sayers, who's not even looking. And the ball just lodges.
It's absolutely, you could cut the tension here with a knife as Ovenden takes us out with a fantastic hit from the Italian number 0, Pintus. The 3 English women with plenty still to do. Adam has a block broken. Izzy Smith and Kaya Koldrick. How can they find a miracle here on court 1 to bring home the gold for the English team? Izzy Smith fractionally short on number 18, Rossi for Italy. And we have 4 balls back in the 3 balls in the hands of the Italians.
As there's a block there and it goes in between Smith's legs. Line ref has called a clean block.
Timeout, Italians.
I believe they have a captain's challenge, which is what it sounds like he said. So they're just using it, although all of the refs have said it's fine. So that's an interesting
call from the Italians, but hey, they seem to have the momentum.
Pintus, yeah.
They seem to have the momentum in this mixed final. Aidan Woodall, the English coach, coming forward to receive the judgment.
Just to discuss what's going on in the chat. with the almost 400 people in the chat at the moment, that this is not a no-block set. This is an 5-minute overtime set.
Yep, so we will be coming to a conclusion of this absolutely epic mixed foam final shortly as the referees communicate with the English coach. Izzy Smith leads the court for more chalk. Kaya Coldrick gets a pep talk from England player and manager Jen Allen, number 16. There's going to be heartbreak for someone here on court 1, but both teams have made a fantastic display here. What a game to be part of, John, even if it is from the commentary booth.
Yeah, and not to draw the attention away from this game, but we've just seen the result of the France-Austria mixed bronze medal match where France have beaten Austria again. What an excellent, excellent display by France in the cloth division as the time starts again in the overtime set of this cloth foam semi-final gold medal match. Yeah,
here we are, 3 balls in Italian hands. Dodged by Coldrick, 3 minutes on the clock. Oh, Pintus puts the ball down to make sure he blocks that ball away. We go again. The tension here in the hall across court is blocked. Again, massive step by Coldrick. Smith gets the ball away.
The Italians come forward. Brencio with the sidearm searching for the legs of Smith.
4 balls in the English hands. Will they go for a double release, trying for a hit? What we're going to see here on court 1, single on Brencio. And you can see the crease of the eyebrows of Smith. The pressure here is huge on court 1 for these Italian women's players to try and turn the tide with 2:13 left on the clock.
Italy happy here with just throwing possession, not needing to force anything, making the England women left on court make all the decisions. They have 6 players to England's 2. England come forward now as Pintus makes another grab, as Brencio goes low onto Smith. Smith left in on her own. No hit called. 2 blocks and a bounce. As Smith runs forwards, she throws at Baldini, who dodges out of the way. 1 minute and 30 seconds left on this set.
It's still burden on the English women. Oh, a wonderful hit! And I think Dodge is there.
One player deficit as they're hiding who has the ball on the side of Italy.
Can the birthday
There's
go?
Another hit.
Create magic
Smith
here
goes
on
low.
court 1. That's 2 outs in almost as many seconds here.
1
on court
minute
1.
remaining.
And then I assume we do go to no block, John, if we're still going. Blocked by Pintus.
There. And there's the hit. Smith left on court as Italy take the gold in the mixed foam final. Heartbreak for England, but what elation for the Italians as we just get that camera angle for you.
Yeah.
What a game of dodgeball. 6-5 coming down to the last set in this foam tournament. What an amazing part of dodgeball for you.
I'm just having a look, and quite rightly, I think your fans' MVP has been Izzy Smith for England. We have Brew waiting to do a courtside interview. As you may have guessed, that's taken us a little while to get through on court 1, so we will be slightly delayed in bringing you the coverage of the mixed cloth final, but do not step away. Well, go to the loo now, have a cup of coffee now, take some deep breaths now, because we will back on the next stream shortly, but stay tuned for a couple of minutes to hopefully see some post-match content from courtside. I'm exhausted, John. I can't only imagine how the players are feeling. Of course, you can see it from the English, taking high fives to the Italians, so much mutual respect, but that's got to really hurt.
Yeah, you can see the emotion on the faces of the English players. It came down to such fine margins. An excellent display from Italy to come back from that 4-point deficit. Such a strong start from England as Italy wait for their guard of honour as some of the cloth team have joined on court as they all join in to cheer. Amazing scenes of emotion. The first Italian gold medal at Euros ever.
Or in some time. We will fact check ourselves another time. But yes, a huge result for the Italians. Yeah, you can see hugs all round for English players. And what are we expecting here as the Northern Irish and the English mixed team take to the court for the cloth final? I had a really good point, John, and it's evaded me. Give me a second.
To those in the chat that are saying they're still confused, just to clarify, the EDF rule set potentially will be different, slightly different, as it's to fit this tournament format. So if there is some confusion, that's fine. These aren't directly word-for-word rules.
And I'm joined now with the winning captain, Pintus Daniel. What does it mean to captain your country at the Dodgeball European Championships?
It's really important for me because there are a lot of young people.
I'm joined here with Pintus Daniel, the captain of Italy. Just what does it mean to you to captain your country?
It's really important because this is my first year captain of the mixed. It's my like the second experience of European dodgeball, but this is the first one official. And it's important because there are a lot of young people that who play right now. It's like the first experience ever. They play like a few years to now, and I have to be a guide for them in the court, after the court, in the tiny houses here in Ireland. And it's important because it's not about only the dodgeball and throwing balls.
What is it that you love about dodgeball?
Throwing ball. Yeah, the family outside the court, with the coaches, with the players, with the company, and the other players too, the other nation. Is incredible. It's a little family in Europe, but it's growing every year.
And if somebody wants to join that dodgeball family, particularly if they're watching at home in Italy, how can they get involved in the sport of dodgeball?
There are a lot of family in our countries, cloth and foam too, and just search in our websites, and there are always someone available for join to us, especially in Sardinia, is my land.
Okay, thank you very much, Italy's captain, Pintus Daniel.
Thank you.